Hi, I'm Jeanette from Growth Unlimited, and I'm here today to talk with you about what is mindfulness. You know, a few weeks ago, I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone, and she was asking me questions. She knows I'm a life coach, and she knows that I do a lot of work with people, helping them take control of their lives. And she had been reading a little bit about different kinds of meditation, relaxation, and she asked me about it. She said, is it really worth it? Does it really do it? And I told her, yes, it does. But my favorite kind of meditation is just mindfulness, because one of the problems that I have in my life is that I am so busy that finding time to meditate for any reasonable length of time each day is very difficult for me. And so what I prefer to do is focus on using mindfulness, which is another form of focus that helps you move towards meditation. And one of the things that I like about mindfulness is that it is easy. It's kind of, I think, it's kind of a beginning way to get ready to move into being able to meditate. And so for people who are a little bit suspicious about the process of meditation, and there are a lot of us out there who are, I know I spent years before I finally decided that using mindfulness and meditation could be helpful in my life. But being mindful actually helps me function more effectively in my minute-to-minute life. And so I prefer to use mindfulness because it raises that consciousness and helps me be more aware, but it seems to be a little bit more functional. And the clients that I've used it with have found that the same way too. So we're going to talk a little bit today about what mindfulness is, and I'm going to share an idea of what you can do to experiment a little bit with it and decide whether mindfulness, it will help you decide whether exploring more about mindfulness would be helpful to you. So first of all, what is mindfulness? Some of the questions that I get asked are you supposed to clear your mind and focus on just one thing? Okay, mindfulness is basically a pretty straightforward word. It suggests that the mind is fully attending to what's happening, to what you're doing, and to the space that you're moving through. That might seem a little bit trivial, except for the annoying fact that our mind often moves away from what's going on at hand. As our mind takes flight, we lose touch with our body, and pretty soon we're so engrossed in obsessive thoughts about something that just happened or fretting about the future, and that ends up making us anxious. Mindfulness is the basic human ability to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we're doing, and not overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. Mindfulness is a quality that every human being already possesses. It's not something that you have to conjure up. You just have to learn how to access it. While it's innate, it can be cultivated through proven techniques. And here are some examples. You can do mindfulness while you're seated. You can do it while you're walking, while you're standing, and while you're moving. You can also do it when you're lying down, but much of the time when I try to be mindful when I'm lying down, what ends up happening is I end up going to sleep. Mindfulness can be done in short pauses that we can insert into our daily life during the time that we are doing the things that we do every day. And mindfulness is a practice that you can merge with other meditative practices like yoga or some sports. Hey, when we meditate, it doesn't help to fixate on the benefits. It's just better to do the practice, and yet there are benefits or nobody would do it. When we're mindful, we reduce stress, we enhance performance, we gain insight and awareness through observing our own mind. and increase our attention to our well-being and the well-being of others around us. Mindfulness meditation gives us a time in our lives when we can suspend judgment and unleash our natural curiosity about the workings of our mind. We can approach our experience with warmth and kindness to ourselves and to other people. Now, next I'm going to give you 8 different facts about mindfulness. First of all, mindfulness is not obscure and it's not exotic. It's familiar because it's something we already know and we already use to a certain extent. It can take on many shapes and it can go by many different names. It's not an added thing that we do. We already have the capacity to be present, and it doesn't require us to change who we are. We can cultivate those innate qualities with simple practices that are scientifically demonstrated to benefit ourselves, our loved ones, our friends and neighbors, the people we work with, and the institutions and organizations that we take part in. You don't have to change to do mindfulness. Solutions that ask us to change who we are or become something we're not have failed us over and over again. Mindfulness recognizes and cultivates the best of who we are as human beings. Mindfulness has the potential to become a transformative social phenomenon. Here's why. Anybody can do it. It cultivates universal human qualities and doesn't require anyone to change their beliefs. Everyone benefits, and it's easy to learn how. Mindfulness is also a way of living. It's more than just a practice. It brings awareness and caring into everything that we do, and it cuts down needless stress. Even a little bit of mindfulness can make your life better. It's evidence-based. We don't have to take mindfulness on faith. Both science and experience demonstrate its positive benefits for our health, happiness, work, and relationships. And it sparks innovation. As we deal with the world's increasing complexity and uncertainty, mindfulness can lead us to effective, resilient, low-cost responses to seemingly intransigent problems. So mindfulness is not all in your head. If we think about mindfulness or meditation with a capital M, we can get hung up thinking about our thoughts. We're going to do something about what's happening in our heads. It's as if these bodies we have are just inconvenient sacks for our brains to load around. Now, meditation begins and ends in the body. It involves taking the time to pay attention to where we are and what's going on, and that starts with being aware of our body, and mindfulness is no different than other forms of meditation in that respect. Meditation can make you feel like you're floating, as though you don't have to walk. You can just waft around. But meditation begins and ends in the body. It involves taking the time to pay attention to where we are and what's going on. And that starts with being aware of what's going on in our body. That can be really calming, since our body has internal rhythms that help it relax if we give it a chance. So, try this. Instead of setting aside a time, I know that the meditation teachers I've had have recommended that I work up to a point where I'm meditating an hour or more every single day. And like I said, with my schedule, sometimes that just is not going to happen. But I can do mindfulness because I can be mindful for a few seconds at a time. And my goal in terms of being mindfulness is to maintain a mindful status all my waking hours. That way, I can keep the calm, I can keep the relaxation, and I can be aware of what's going on around me. And I love that idea. It gives me more power. It makes me more in control of my life. which is what this is all about to me. So, try this exercise. Next time you sit down to eat, focus on what you're eating. Try not to get distracted with other stuff that's going on. Focus on eating. Only eat. Take the time to use your 5 senses to define what it is that you're eating. Notice what the food looks like. Notice the colors and the shapes that you are seeing when you look at that food. And savor it. Enjoy it. Be aware of it. Listen to the food. Does it have a sound when it is sitting on your plate? What sound does it make when you chew it? And then taste the food. What taste does it have? Is it salty? Is it buttery? Recognize the sensations that you are receiving while you're eating that food. Really enjoy it. Really savor what it is that you're experiencing in the process of eating your meal. Do it slowly. Do it carefully. And really focus on the experience. Okay? Notice how the food feels in your mouth. And notice the odors of the food as you're eating it. Gather information. And then one of the things that I like to do when I've done a mindfulness exercise like that is jot down some of those impressions so that I can go back and read them later and really re-experience the situation that I was in when I did it. Try this. Let me know how it goes. And if you found this video helpful, excuse me, if you found this video helpful, share it with your friends and subscribe. Also, leave me a note below about things you do to relax and how you think mindfulness could help you. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have a wonderful day. Bye now. Growth Unlimited's mission is to help you have your life your way. We want to help you take control of your life so that you live the life you've dreamed of, that you deserve. We have a proprietary program that helps you do just that. Check us out by visiting our website and take our free assessment to see how we can help you.